today's short meditation, let us turn our pages to Proverbs chapter 16, verses 9. We'll be looking into a particular verse which is 9 of chapter 16 of Proverbs. During a Christmas Eve in Oberstdorf in Austria around 1818, Joseph Mohr, the vicar of the church, had written a new song for the Christmas Eve service, and the organist Gerber prepared the music for those songs, and they were ready to perform the song in the church. But the organ in that village broke down. It got repaired. They were not able to play the song in the organ, so Gerber, he picked the guitar and he accompanied Joseph Mohr, who wrote the song, and they performed the song that night. And that song was the first ever rendition of Silent Night. It was that song where they performed even though the failure of the organ in that village. And that was not the end of the story. When a man came to fix that organ, Gerber played it to test the organ, was it alright? And he played the Silent Night song, which he was not able to play it on the Christmas Eve. He played that song that time. And this repairman, he liked that song very much. And he liked that music. And he took one copy of that to his village. He was not from that village, he was from different village. So he took that song copy to his village. When he took that song to his village, 4 daughters of a glove maker from that village learned this song, and they started to perform it in concerts. During those times, we don't have like social medias like we have today. Those times were different. They had to take hard copies and they had concerts, and it became very widespread in Austria during that time. When they started to sing in concerts and all, this song touched many people and it glorified God throughout Austria and now throughout the world. We see how famous the Silent Night song is. When we see that eventually it breaks through the world, like it just didn't end within that area, within that village, but it went to the neighboring village. And when we see when things break down or when some plans change, how should we respond? Sometimes we are afraid or we worry because it didn't go as we planned, but we get upset because we couldn't have the control over the situation. That's when we need to take one step back and trust God. During the time where we feel we are broke, during the time where we feel the plans have changed, that's when we need to trust God and put our hope in Him. And He will turn that situation for His glory. And the changes in our life may not be very remarkable as this song, as this hymn, like Silent Night, but in one another way, it will glorify God. We can be sure that God will make use of us, even when we are broke. You know, even in that situation when they were about to play, even when the organ failed them that time, God used it to spread. You know, even we may say, oh, the organ broke down. It may take it as negatively, but God used those situations for His glory. Sometimes, like that organ breaks or the failure in our life, we also may have the failure. That day on the Christmas Eve, the things didn't go as it planned it to be, but still they used whatever they had. They played the guitar and still they had that rendition of that Silent Night song that day. Even after that, we see how the song glorified to the other people also. So just like that, even in our life, we may have our breakdowns, or we may have our plans changed, or the things may go as not what we planned, but God will make use of it. Like God can turn our situation, turn the broken situation for His glory. So when we see in Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9, which it says, "In his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps." We may have our plans, we may have our outlines of what to do, or the things have to go this way or not, But we see whatever happens, it happens what the Lord decides and what the Lord determines. It's not what we determine that comes, but what the Lord determines. Let us be aware that no matter what we go through, we need to put our trust in God, and we can be calm, and we can be sure that, as the song in Silent Night it says, all is calm and all is bright. Just like that in our life, let us try to slow down, not to be hurry or get upset or totally be disappointed, because our God can change things for His glory. There is a quote which says, sometimes our plan does not unfold the way we thought it would, but God is always in control to use it for our good. We may not realize it, but later we may realize. So let us not put away our hope or be disappointed very quickly, but rather take one step back and trust God.